Adrenal sounding like your blood clot adenoids. So I'm gonna say one of the photographers that I'm shooting with actually shot you. Just say that.
Back in the ends again. Foul stuff, showing your face again.
So I just got out the gym. I was working on my dad, and I had this thought in my head, or epiphany, or whatever the sophisticated term is to that type of thinking. I remember when I used to be 85 kilos, lean, big, strong. I was working. That was like 2 years ago. It's 2 years ago, yeah. And I was still young, but I was pre-uni after high school. I was working in a store as, just different divisions in that store. And, I was getting a lot of food. I was eating a lot of food, and I was hitting the gym consistently, working out every day. And, I was really the type of man, or I carried the essence of the type of man that I wish to be again. And that made me question, like, right now, I went to uni, I lost some weight, a lot of weight, muscles. I'm not as big as I used to be. I'm not as strong as I used to be. It's something that I've been trying to deal with for a while. It's been causing me, or making me, think lowly of myself. And I don't want to be thinking like that anymore. I don't want to be so deep and lost in my head of trying to imagine myself as the man I used to be, because that will only cement the idea that, or the thought, or the fact, maybe, I hope it's not a fact, that I truly am a shell of the man that I used to be. I get so anxious. Actually, I even left the gym early because there were a lot of people bigger than me. I felt uncomfortable. I just, not like they were mean or anything. A lot of those guys helped me out, but it's just my own innate sense of self-esteem. It has been really low, and it's just, I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. But on the other hand, though, as I'm trying to build myself up back again, I can choose to think of myself as the shell of the man I used to be, or I can be the canvas of the new man I aspire to be. I can be the canvas, the mold of the man that I can be. If I just consistently go back and do what I have to do better than last time, eat the way I have to eat, stay focused, I can even become more better than the man back then. Because even back then, the only thing that I aspired about him was I was just jacked. I was huge. I was big. But I really had nothing else going on. I would overspend my money. Reckless, irresponsible, whiny, a little bitch. That wasn't a really aspirable man as I look back at it, and as I look forward actually to the man that I want to be. I can be more. I can be jacked. I can be big again. When I was in school, when I came back to Zim, I went to school in Zambia. I was weighing 85. I came back. I was down to 70. That's a whole lot of weight to lose in muscle. I was just bones. And when I'm home, I was put on a huge feeding regimen. Shout out to my mom and my dad. And you know, I'm slowly getting that weight back. Right now, I'm like on 79.5, and I'm trying to maintain and go beyond that while still being lean. At the same time, that's no longer just my goal anymore. I'm 22 now. You know, I'm now focused more on my finances. I have a partner that I care for, that I aspire to want to marry. I aspire to want to be a provider, a man who's a provider, to start a family of my own. And being jacked just doesn't get you that. So I just realized that I have to scrape off this figment of myself that I hold on to that. And I think that's what a lot of you guys, especially people with anxiety or some form of depression, I don't know what it's called, you know, you hold on to that idea of, oh man, I used to be, especially people who peaked in high school and then they end up like flopping off. Don't look back on who you used to be, but you know, and don't look back on who you used to be and, you know, worry deep down that you're not that person anymore. Actually, I believe that you should rejoice you're not that person anymore. Look back and see the qualities that you want to remain, like you would want to have again, positive qualities, and just look fucking forward, man. Move fucking forward. You know, be the mold to the new person you want to be, the new woman you want to be, the new man you want to be. You know, structure yourself. And I know it sucks when you're now trying to go like when you're on level 100 and you're restarting the game again. But the best thing about restarting the game is you now know the cheat codes. You now know how to run the map. I now know how to run the map. You know, I know what I have to eat. I know what my weak spots are. I know how much food I have to eat, how much cardio I have to do. You know, yes, I'm weaker than ever. Like my mixed bench right now, dead ass. You know, niggas can like me. I don't care. Dead ass is just fucking 35 kilos. And that's my mix right now. I can just do 35 kilos for 25 reps. That's all I can do. I try to go 40. I just did like 10, and you know, it's not impressive, and it's very vulnerable of me to admit to this, because it was something that I used to be very insecure about when I realized that I lost a lot of my strength, I lost a lot of my weight, my muscle, my gains. But I'm rebuilding again, because back then I was just a meter. Now I'm reading more books, not on some Kais and that shit, but but I'm diving more into, like, you know, the intellectual shit. You know, it's a peak that I'm enjoying. I'm reading more. I'm getting more involved in arts, you know, paintings and shit, literature. But yeah.
Dream of walls that hold us in prison. It's just a skull, at least that's what they call it. And we're